You're expecting the savior character. Sorry to disappoint. Alex has been very vulnerable lately, which makes my time more easily accessible. I'm with her all the time now. She's always afraid and weak. I hate her, and she hates her, so we agree on some things. Even if she tries to deny it for recovery's sake, I'm a part of her and she will never get rid of me. I know her weaknesses. I know her insecurities. I know how to make her scream. I know how to make her cry. I know what to say and when to say it. She was scratching at herself yesterday. She wanted blood. She wants it. She tries to blame me for everything, but there's something sick about her. She has the psychopath gene, and there's nothing she can do to be different. No matter how many support groups she goes to or try to make herself, she will always be broken. She will always have me in her ear, and that's on her. I didn't want to be created. I want to be unmade. She has the power to do that, but not the courage. She's a fucking coward, always has been, and always will be.
Go away. You try to convince her that she's all bad. She's not. She wants to help. She wants to get better for her family, and she will. Don't cry, little one. He's a liar. You don't have to listen to him. You don't have to adopt his beliefs to survive. It won't lead you to survival. It'll lead you to destruction.
You're so wise, aren't you? She's weak, and your coddling has made her more weak. She used to be able to function, and now what? She can't drive most of the time, can't eat, can't do shit. She feels like a failure because she is a failure. I wish she was stronger, but she's not. She never will be. I'll fucking kill her. She doesn't deserve to live.
She has people. She has love. She hasn't lost her humanity like you have. She isn't you. Stop. Sorry, introductions can be hard. Alex has been going through a lot lately, unable to think well or do much well. But she's extremely stressed, and she needs rest and support. She's been processing through a lot since going through a women's trauma group. A lot of memories have come up, and she is suffering from emotional flashbacks and physical flashbacks. She feels lost, but it won't be like that forever. She'll come back. I know she'll come back. Just have to be patient and caring. She's a good girl. She'll be back and help.
Always making fucking excuses for the bitch. She's sad about this and that all the fucking time. She's defected. She is unwanted and unloved. People who think they like her, it's only because she cages me around them. If they saw who she really was, they'd call the cops to take her away, to be locked up and throw away the key. I, I'm just trying to help the people in her life by reminding her how much she takes and takes. She talks too much, needs too much.
Stop that. Just shut up and take a break. I'm not gonna let you tear her down to the point of self-mutilation. I see your game here, you sick entity, whatever you are. She's named you. How do you like your new name? She wants to distance herself from you as much as possible. Maybe it'll work. Something has to work.
I'm glad she's given me the respect to name me. Angry voice is a bit dehumanizing.
Then David walked away.
I don't know what that means.
Ah, shit. I feel like I'm dying. Why is this all I can feel?
Because you are dying. That pain in your side is your appendix bursting. Hold on now. She's got plenty going on that would cause stomach or uterus pain. Stop jumping to the worst case scenario. Stomach pains come every day and her appendix hasn't burst yet. Now, to catch everyone up, this is our second chance to represent ourselves. Let's do it clean and as nicely as possible. Alex has made some revelations lately about her recovery, her past, and herself. It's been very exhausting. She went through a women's trauma support group program, which was incredibly triggering to go through. She's made progress, even if she doesn't feel it yet, she has. Her revelations about her past, some suppressed memories, and some repressed memories have been bubbling up, and she's slowly putting the pieces back together. These things take time.
Yeah, 5 years isn't enough. She's going to need decades to be a functioning adult, if she even has that long before she dies.
Would you shut up and let me tell the story?
No, I will not shut up. In fact, I have stories of my own. Stories people need to hear. Like how she fails at everything she does and always has. Remember when she was little, slower than molasses in January? She was always slow, dumb. Someone would ask her to do something and she'd just curl up in a bawling cry because she's a spoiled brat. You think you can save her with positivity and whatever this recovery scam you brainwashed her with? But I know the truth. I know what a drain she is on everyone around her. I know she's like an emotional cancer infecting everyone that becomes close enough to her, just like her mother was. She may hide it in positivity like her mother did, just a different brand of it. Instead of Christ and church positivity, she shrouds herself in recovery positivity, and it's the same brainwashing to make the shame go away. Instead of worshiping God, she now worships herself through recovery means, which only has pushed her deeper into insanity and dysfunction. She can't work, can't have a normal conversation, has seizures and brags about it, like it makes her special. She thinks she's so fucking special because she had a childhood. Everyone has childhoods, and most people don't spend their adulthoods thinking about it, living in the goddamn past. But she must live in her past to avoid her present. She wouldn't want to actually get anything done.
Hold on a minute. Jesus Christ, Morty. You're a bastard. She lived through.
I know what she lived through, you stupid ass. I know. I was there. I've always been there, watching in utter disappointment while she manages to fuck up over and over again. Why do you think I'm here? Because I'm not aware of what birthed me? Her past birthed me. Her body created me so I could put it out of its misery, and she won't let me. She's always been too weak to do what needs to be done. I'm here to help her, and instead she labels me the enemy, gets into a recovery cult, and tries to figure out ways to quiet me down. But that won't ever happen because her body knows better. It knows it needs me. And one day, if push comes to shove, I'll be here to help her escape. What do you offer her? Nothing but distractions and romantic ideas of what life could be like. It'll never be like that for her. She's not capable of it. You're cruel to send those thoughts to her head and offer her relief when the cause will never go away. She's stuck in this cycle like the rest of them. She clings onto non-existent hope, praying that she'll be better one day. We both know she's not. I'm just honest about it.
Well, now, you've ranted quite enough. I think it's time for another perspective. She is recovering. She's developed coping tools that have helped other survivors out. And you can't take it away with your despair bit. Life isn't just despair and hate. It's also love and making connections that transcend understanding. She has her family who love her pets who love her friends, her community. She's been making huge progress with getting back out there and becoming more active every day. Yes, she still has symptoms like appetite problems, a seizure here and there, and mood swings. But she's fucking making it through and still having fun, enjoyable experiences. You're so damn negative, I can't stand it. She's been coming to terms with a lot from her past and trying to make sense of the fragments that have been trickling back into her memory the last 2 years. She's allowed to need some rest and recovery time. It is not a cult. It's a support network. Psychology is a science, and it has evidence and validity to it. You can't just wipe that all away. Emotions don't overrule data and facts. Back to my original point. She's made some epiphanies lately that has shaken her up a bit, but she's processing through it. She's starting to understand the origins of Morty a bit, along with other voices in her head. She's clung onto a number of different people and representations of people in an imprinting sort of way. She takes great comfort in hearing friendly voices. Somehow, through her adrenalized time of being alive, she's recorded many different people and voices in her head to fall back on when she gets overwhelmed. These voices have different personalities, catchphrases, lines of thought. It's like she's created her own little community to talk to in her head. Now that she's older and trusts more in real life people, the voices can interfere with that. They can make it hard for her to pay attention, have a conversation, keep her thought process going while doing tasks, etc. Although there are a lot of friendly voices, I'd like to think I'm included in that list. There's also Morty and his crew of characters. There's Panic Voice that thinks everything is crumbling down and dying all the time, aka Self-Conspiracy Voice. That one can get very out of control, especially at night. There's a Judgmental Voice, very akin to Morty, but slightly different, focusing all of its attention onto other people instead of Alex. This one is most active while she's out and about and can cause her to be extremely uncomfortable with public interaction. She doesn't like what he says at all and will judge herself for it. She argues with him the most, and he would be the one who annoys her the most. She's terrified that she'll end up like her family of origin, constantly judging others while blind to her own faults. Recovery hasn't made her blind to her faults. Instead, it's put them in a more realistic light, with more empathy towards herself and the people she's hurt. It's not like she was going around trying to mess with people. She was lost in cycles of dysfunction for a while. Then she noticed she was doing things she was ashamed of and wanted to change. She's made tremendous efforts into changing to hurt less people and to ultimately feel more at peace with herself. I've gotten a bit off track. I feel a need to dispute Morty where and when I can so his influence doesn't overwhelm her. She had quite the episode not too long ago where he was able to completely take over for a while, which resulted in some self-mutilation and self-hatred. Her epiphanies involved Morty quite a bit, so he's been quite active while she sorts through it. He was born out of survival. When she was assaulted at an early age, he was born to protect her if she needed an out, if the assault lasted too long to escape the pain she was going through. He does have a point there. Her mind allowed him in because it was overwhelmed and couldn't process what was going on or why. He's meant as a fail-safe, in case she's ever hurt like that again and there is no help or hope. She can kill herself if life truly calls for it, but I don't think her life calls for it, and that's where we differ in opinion. Morty thinks every self-esteem hit and depression episode is reason enough to end it, where I don't see it that way. She can make it through a lot. I know her threshold. She can wait him out for years and years, using coping techniques to help her escape from his loathing tirades. She's been trying to negotiate with him lately, which I don't know how to feel about that. In my view, he should not be tolerated. But look how far that's gotten us. Better coping, but he's still there, dragging her down whenever he can. He's too obsessed with pain and escaping it. Granted, that is his purpose, but she hasn't been in that much pain in a long time. Remembering the pain is vastly different than experiencing it.
She doesn't just remember the pain, she lives in it. She is it. Her and pain are one. Even when she tries to escape it, it's still there, under the surface, in her eyes. You've had enough talk time. You ramble on and on about how much she tries and blah blah blah. I have stories too. Mine aren't shrouded in the disgusting recovery jargon that makes you feel nice and fuzzy inside. She's a broken person, cannot be fixed. Her soul is twisted up and mangled. And the more you inflate her ego, the more likely it is she's going to turn into her abusers. She hates me, but can't rid herself of me because she knows I'm right. I hate her. I hate myself to a certain extent. I hate that she's made me a spectacle to people like this damn thing here. I am not something to flaunt about. I am to be kept secret. What good am I as a protector if the whole world knows of my existence? She trusts too easily now, and it hurts. You may not understand my protector role. You don't need to. No one needs to understand shit. Life is chaos. I am the protection against it. I know the rules. I know the game of survival. The rest of you bring her down with conflicting messages of how to live, who to talk to, when to share feelings. Her feelings aren't safe out there. You don't care about her though, do you? only care about yourselves and making a show out of her mental breakdown. I'm getting more powerful, and there isn't shit she or you can do to stop it. You can argue with me all day, but I can still thirst for scratching, cutting, and self-mutilation. She doesn't even notice right away. It's almost too easy. What good her recovery did made her weak and fragile. She was stronger before all your nonsense filled her head. She knew how to move, how to function, could eat food. Ha ha ha! She can't even eat food anymore. What a great recovery role model, a dying woman stuck in her childhood. Even while she types this, she has to pause and scratch at herself, and it feels so tempting. I am close to her now. We were always supposed to be close.
Stop it. She's going to break through the skin with your shit in her head. Get out. Get out. Get out.
You can't get rid of me. One day Alex was sitting by her pathetic self, wondering what the hell happened that made her so goddamn stupid. As she sat there, being stupid, as she contemplated being stupid, she started to itch herself. At first it was a light itch. Then it got more and more itchy, like her skin was wool fibers stuck on the inside, and if only she could scratch hard enough, they would be able to be pulled out. As she sat there scratching and scratching, she envisioned taking a sharp blade to herself to relieve the pressure of being stuck in a gross meat suit, to relieve the pressure of having to live life every day. Death is such sweet relief. If only she could get her head out of the clouds and let reality hit her.